Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Hare Krishna, bonjour. Bienvenue à la classe de Srimad Bhagavatam. Alors aujourd'hui, je crois qu'on lit, je vais vérifier, c'est le canto 9, oui, chapitre 10, verset 13-14, c'est ça. Bien, merci. C'est mieux French, English, what should I prefer English, but if you are more comfortable in French, I do in French. Si vous êtes plus confortable en français, je fais.
Je préfère un nom français.
Pas grave, je le reprendrai dans la Bhagavad Gita, chapitre combien tu as dit? C'est pas le même.
Vous pouvez faire en français ou en
anglais? Moi, je ne m'en fous pas.
On demande à votre
Mais comme vous voulez, voilà, je fais ça majoritaire, donc vous faites
ça va, merci.
Si tout le monde comprend le français, c'est que bien
Là, tu n'as qu'à faire une partie en français et une autre partie. Tu jongles. A sur B, sur C, sur D. A, B, C, D. Ok.
Je te donne en français.
C'est très gentil, merci. Allez, voilà. Ok, alors je lis en français alors. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Alors, aujourd'hui, on va faire deux versets. Donc d'abord, je vais lire toute seule le verset 13. Et ensuite, on va lire ensemble le verset 14. Yadrusha vibrama vivrita katakshapata samharta nakramakaro bhayagirna gosha sindhu shirashi aranam parikriyarupi padaravindamupadyam bhashat etat. Une fois arrivé sur la plage, Sri Ramachandra jeûna pendant 3 jours en attendant l'arrivée de l'océan personnifié. You speak French? Okay, so I'm gonna do in English then. I'm sorry. Je vais le faire sur mon téléphone. Je vais le faire sur mon téléphone. So after reaching the beach, Lord Ramachandra fasted for 3 days, awaiting the arrival of the ocean personified. When the ocean did not come, the Lord exhibited his pastimes of anger, and simply by his glancing over the ocean, all the living entities within it, including the crocodiles and sharks, were agitated by fear. Then, the personified ocean fearfully approached Lord Ramachandra, taking all paraphernalia to worship him. Falling at the Lord's lotus feet, the personified ocean spoke as follows. So this is the verse we're going to do. Natvam vayam jadadhiyo nu vidu vidama bhuman. Can you please repeat? Maybe I will get it.
Natvam vayam jadadhiyo nu vidama bhuman.
Vayam jadadhiyo
vidama bhuman.
Kutastamadi purusham jagatam madisham.
Kutastamadi purusham jagatam madisham.
Yasadvata shuragana rajasa prajesham.
Yasadvata suragana rajasa prajesham.
Manyusha bhuta pataya shabhavan gunesha.
Manyusha bhuta pataya sabhavan gunesha.
Nadvam vaya jagadiyo nuvidama bhuman.
Nadvam vaya jagadiyo nuvidama bhuman.
Kutastamadi purusham jagatam adisham.
Kutastamadi purusham jagatam adisham.
Yasadvata Shuragana Rajasa Prajesham
Yasadvata Suragana Rajasa Prajesha
Manyosha Bhuta Pataya Shabhavan Gunesham
Manyosha Bhuta Pataya Sabhavan Gunesha
Anyone would like to repeat?
Madvam Vayam Dadadiyo Nuvidama Bhuman
Advam Vayam Jagadiyo Vidama Bhuman
Kuta Samadhi Purusham Jagatam Adisham
Kuta Samadhi Purusham Jagatam Adisham
Yatsadvata Suragana Rajasa Prajesha
Yasadvata Sudagana Rajasa Prajesha
Manyosha Bhuta Pataya Sabhavan Gunesha
Manyasha Bhuta Pataya Sabhavan Gunesha.
Someone else?
Nadvam Vayam Jadadiyo Nuvidama Bhuman
Nadvam Vayam Jadadiyunu Vidama Bhuma
Kuta Samadhi Purusham Jagatamadisham
Kuta Samadhi Purusham Jagatamadisham
Yasadvata Suragana Rajasa Prajesha
Yasadvata Suragana Rajasa Prajesham
Maya Shabhuta Pataya Sabhavan Gunesha
Manyosha Bhuta Pataya Shabhavan Gunesham. Anyone? Like to try? Is it that? Wanna try? No? Okay. Someone else wants to try? Okay. So we're gonna go for the word for word. Na. So I say and then you repeat after me. Na, not. Vam, your lordship.
Your Lordship,
Vayam, we. Jadadhiya,
Jadadiya,
dull-minded,
God-minded,
possessing blunt intelligence.
possessing blunt intelligence,
Nu,
new,
indeed,
indeed,
Vidama,
Vidama,
can know,
can know,
Woman,
Woman,
O supreme,
O Supreme,
Kutashtam,
Kutastam,
within the core of the heart.
within the core of the heart,
Adipurusham,
Adipurusham,
the original personality of Godhead.
the original personality of Godhead,
Jagatam,
Jagatam,
of the universes,
of the universes,
which progressively go on.
which progressively go on,
Adhisham, the
Adisham,
supreme master,
the Supreme Master,
Yat,
Yat,
fixed under your direction.
speaks under your direction,
Radha Prajeshwara ki,
Jai,
ki,
Jai.
Jagannath Baladev ki, Jai. Yat, fixed under your direction. Sadvata, infatuated with Sadvaguna. Shuragana, such demigods. Rajasa, infatuated with Rajaguna. Rajaisha, the
Rajaisha,
Prajapatis.
the Prajapatis,
Manyuho, influenced by Tamoguna.
influenced by Tamaguna,
Sha, and Bhutapataya, ruler of the ghosts.
rulers of gods,
Saha, such a personality.
such a personality,
Pavan, your lordship.
Lordship,
Gunaisha, the master of all three modes of material nature.
the master of all three modes of material nature.
Translation by Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Of all pervading Supreme Person, we are dull-minded and did not understand who you are. But now we understand that you are the Supreme Person, the Master of the entire universe, the unchanging and original personality of Godhead. The demigods are infatuated with the mode of goodness, the Prajapatis with the mode of passion, and the Lord of Ghosts with the mode of ignorance. but you are the master of all these qualities. Purport. The word Jadadhiya refers to intelligence like that of an animal. A person with such intelligence cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without being bitten, an animal cannot understand the purpose of a man. Similarly, those who are dull-minded cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when punished severely by the modes of material nature, they begin to understand him. A Hindi poet had said, Dukkha se sabha hari baje, sukha se baje koi, sugha se agar hari baje, dukkha khatan se haya. When one is distressed, he goes to the church or temple to worship the Lord. But when opulent, he forgets the Lord. Therefore, punishment by the Lord through material nature is necessary in human society. For without it, men forget the supremacy of the Lord due to their dull, blunt intelligence. End of the purport. I'm just going to do a short prayer of gratitude. Om Magana Timirandasya Ganam Jala Shalakaya Shakshur Mitamena Tashmaya Shri Guruve Namaha Panchakalpa Tarubhyasha Kripa Sindhu Vyayasha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnadevo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. If you like, you can attend the class if you desire. Today we are speaking from Canto 9. This is speaking about the pastimes of Sri Ramachandra. So what happened is that Sri Ramachandra was exiled to the forest with his wife and brother, and so he was exiled because his stepmother, she received a boon, and in that boon she asked that he was exiled to the forest because she was scared that her son doesn't get enough power to be the king. So for 12 years they were exiled into the forest, and Ramachandra had to take his wife Sita with him. And so the problem is that there is a demon, Ravana. He came to kidnap Lord Sita, and then when he kidnapped her, here in this pastime, Lord Ramachandra is gonna try to take her back. So he's very angry. So in this verse, it is actually expressed that the anger of God, Ramachandra is incarnation of Krishna. So what actually stand out for me in this verse, what I found really interesting, is the end of the purport, which is written: when one is distressed, he goes to the church or temple to worship the Lord, but when opulence, he forgets the Lord. Therefore, punishment by the Lord through material nature is necessary in human society. For without it, men forget the supremacy of the Lord due to their dull, blunt intelligence. So it's really nice described that actually when one is distressed or has pain, he goes to see the Lord. When everything is fine, it's more difficult for a person to remember Krishna or remember God. And we can see that in general when often when people lose everything, like their family, their money, everything, there is more this tendency, because they're in distress, to call for God. Please help me. I have no other choice. So I remember a few days ago, I met one man on the street in Nice, in France. I was visiting my mother, and this person, he was walking very, in a way you can see that something was wrong, and then he looked at me, has red really red eyes. You could see that he was crying a lot. And then he just stopped to me, and then he started to talk to me how he lost his wife, his children, and now he's 80 years old, and you know, he's feeling completely lost in his life. Although he had really nice life, you know, he lived all his life in Côte d'Azur, he has wealth and everything, but it happened in this moment of his life that he's feeling very distressed. And so, and then he told me, I don't think it's an accident that I meet you today on the street, because I was having no hope, and he was like going, you know, he wanted to die actually on that day that I saw him. And so he was very happy to take this book, and he's, you know, he held it like something very, very precious, that it was something sent from God to him, that, you know, his last hope basically in life. And that was really amazing. So it's described actually in the Bhagavad Gita that there is few categories of people who go to search for self-realization. One of them is the one who is distressed. And when I was living in London, in Soho Street, it's a temple in the middle of the city, and there is a lot of people coming to visit every day. And so they come to pray to Krishna, but usually most of them, they would pray for something material, like, please, like, grant my son his diploma, please give him my health back, or something like that. And I remember I met one woman, she used to come every morning, and this woman, like, she would, you know, she would come every day for Guru Puja for, like, you know, 1 month. And same story, like, you know, she lost her job, she lost everything, and then she used to pray to Krishna, and she said, Krishna, if you give me back that, I will come every day. And actually that happened. After like 2 months, you know, she got everything what she wanted, and then she disappeared completely. and then after a few months, something go wrong again in his life, and we see her again, and like that, you know. So it's very easy, more easy for people to remember God when everything is wrong. But what we have to learn is to remember Krishna when everything is good also, because actually to remember God, that He's giving us everything that we receive in everyday life. And we have different ways to address God. I mean, people has different names to call God. Here we call it Krishna, or some people address him as the energy, whatever name we can give it. But it's very important to practice this gratitude actually. Like, for example, here we wake up every day. Actually, it's all gratitude prayers, because in the morning, we Mangal Arati, we remember the spiritual master, because we remember that he given us this gift of Krishna consciousness. So when we practice that in our everyday life, what happens is, when something wrong happens in our life, then it will feel very small, because actually every time, if we remember everything that we receive in life, it's so potent that whatever will happen, obstacles will happen in our life, whether health or any issue, we will feel a little bit distressed, but not as much as if we practice this gratitude, that we remember that we have received this gift of Krishna consciousness, of spirituality. It's very rare actually, this Krishna consciousness to achieve. It's very, very rare in the world. We can see, I mean, in Paris, how many people practice spirituality or Krishna consciousness. It's very few. So it is great gift. So we can try to practice that, and even if we go through obstacles in our life, we have to learn to see Krishna in that also. And we have many examples in this actually text, Srimad Bhagavatam. So this text is meant also to help us to go through life. And we have, for example, one example he's called Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj, he had his father who wanted to actually finish his life, because his father was a demon. And Prahlad Maharaj didn't want to become a demon. He wanted to be a devotee. So he tried to burn him. He tried to push him from a cliff. Really, really horrible things. And but Prahlad Maharaj, he always was seeing Krishna in every situation that happened, and Krishna was always protecting him in whatever situation he was living. And in the Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse at the end of the book, chapter 18, verse 66, Sarva Dharma Parijaja Namekam Sharva Raja Aham Tam Sarva Prabhavyo Moksham Yishyami Masuchaha. So I will deliver, if you surrender to me, I will deliver you. This is what Krishna says. And he says, do not fear. So this is very important, this sentence, do not fear, means that we should not be fearful from life, from material life, because mainly people are distressed, are scared. We are scared about the future, we are scared about our health, we are scared to lose our people around us, or everything. So because material life means actually anxiety. But when we fully surrender to whatever Krishna wants us to go through, then we will always go through every situation in a peaceful way. And we have also another example in the Srimad Bhagavatam of Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj in the Canto 4, so Dhruva Maharaj, he was rejected basically by his stepmother. So he wanted to be a king, and he was actually the son of a king, and his stepmother didn't want him. So she told him, you're not good to be a king, because she had another son, and so she wanted that son to be the king. And so she told him no, and his father, he didn't say anything, so he felt rejected. And so then his mother, she told him, then you should go to the forest and meditate on Lord Krishna. So Dhruva Maharaj had two choices. Either he could lament on his on this difficulty that happened to him, and want to revenge on his other brother and his family. But instead, what did Dhruva Maharaj? He went to the forest and he meditated on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what we were learning from this pastime is that even in rejection and loneliness, that actually pain can transform into spiritual growth. So that whatever happens, even if we feel rejected and we feel pain into our life, someone rejects us, we can always transform this pain, this suffering, into spiritual growth. This is what actually teaches also Srimad Bhagavatam. We have also other example of Draupadi. So Draupadi, she was completely humiliated in the court, in the assembly. So they tried to pull her sari, basically, to put her naked in the assembly. And so when they tried to pull her sari, the sari was unended. he was not ended because she didn't know what to do, because her family was here and no one was helping her. She was completely alone. And so she just called out for Krishna, please, please help me. And so Krishna helped her in that moment, that he gave her this unlimited sari. And so what again Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching us is that to take shelter of Krishna, that is actually that at somehow in life sometimes that no one can help us, even our most close friends or devotees. Sometimes we can be in helpless situation, and so what we have to learn is to again take shelter of Lord Krishna. So actually all this Srimad Bhagavatam is full of these stories, actually not stories, this is true stories that happens to help us to take shelter of Krishna and to remember him at every situation. And there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita in the chapter 9, verse 22, saying, Ananya Shintayanto Manijana Paripashati Tesham Nitya Abhiyuktanam Yogam Kshema Pahamiyaham. To those who always think of me and worship me with exclusive devotion, I personally carry what they like and preserve what they have. So sometimes, even when in our life Krishna seems to take away some comfort or some things that are dear to us, wealth, power, whatever, actually he's taking us to take us closer to him. So externally, materially, it feels like it's something's taken away from us, but actually it is arrangement of Krishna so that we come closer to him actually. That's why he's doing that. And in this verse, actually, what happened is that, Ravana, so he's the person who kidnapped Sita, the demon, he was blinded by opulence, so and become proud. And then he thought himself the controller, and so he wanted to control Sita, and wanted to kidnap something which is not belongs to him. And what is the result is that, Krishna then make intervention in that, because Krishna always protect his devotees, and Krishna always appear when Dharma has to be established. So in this verse it is described, therefore, but when opulence, he forgets the Lord. Therefore, punishment by the Lord through material nature is necessary in human society, for without it, men forget the supremacy of the Lord due to their dull plant intelligence. So Krishna has to come sometimes to to remind the people of his supremacy and to reestablish Dharma. So we have also many examples again in the Srimad Bhagavatam that exemplify that. We have in the Canto 10, Indra, he was very proud. The Vrajavasi, the people who lives in Vrindavan in India, so they used to every year make a ceremony for Indra, for worshipping Indra, which is a demigod of who gives them rain. And what happened is one year they didn't do that worship for him, and so Indra was thinking, wow, what's happening here? Why they are not doing that for me? Because and so he became very angry, and he tried to destroy the Vrindavan with torrent rain and a big storm. And so what happens is that Krishna came, and one of his most famous pastime then has been revealed. He lifted Govardhan hill. So he lifted it with his small finger to humble Indra, to show him that he's not the controller actually. And so this is show actually that one sometimes opulence can actually drive someone into pride, and someone forgets his real position. So Krishna also, all these pastimes are not just here by accident. They are here to give us a warning, but also to give us how we can deal with it when it happens. So in this pastime, we can see that opulence can be a great obstacle in spiritual life. And that even if Krishna gives us opulence, we should never forget where it's coming from, that everything is coming from him. We have another pastime of also King Nalakuvara and Manigriva, which they were giving a lot of wealth, and they were sons of Kuvera, the treasurer of the gods. And they were blessed with a lot of beauty and wealth, and so, but they became very again intoxicated and proud, and they were started to drink alcohol and being in intoxication. And so one day Narada Muni came there, and they didn't recognize him, they didn't even respect him, and so he curses them. He curses them to become trees, but this looks like a curse, but it's actually a correction, it's a benediction, because they actually became trees in Vrindavan, and so they could have a direct darshan of Krishna. So actually, when Krishna comes to punish, it's not a punishment, it's actually a blessing, because it's always here, it always is to liberate people, and he always come also to associate with his devotees. We have also another example in Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj wanted to control the three words, and because actually what happened is for a moment he forgot again where his wealth is coming from, and so Krishna appeared as another form, as Lord Vamanadev, and he took away all his possession. But what did Bali Maharaj is that he surrendered to him completely. So in this test, sometimes we get some tests, and Krishna comes to test us, and then we can choose whether we surrender to him or we surrender to the material energy. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a verse saying, Yasham manu grihinami harishyata dhanam sane tado dhanasya santusto yashyadmad anugraham. When especially if I were someone, I gradually take away all their wealth. Then the relatives and friends reject them, being abandoned, the devotee becomes fully dependent on me, and thus receives my greatest mercy. So what's the meaning of this verse is to learn how to see the reversal of Lord Krishna as his greatest mercy. So that actually whatever happened, it's really to just take us closer to him. And that's actually the real goal of our services that we do every day, whether in the temple, whether outside when we work, that everything that we do is just to come closer to him. So even if sometimes we do something, a service or whatever project we do, and it's externally, it looks like it's a failure, but if actually internally it takes us closer to Krishna, then it's actually a success, because the success is actually to deepen our bhakti with Krishna. It's not about the external, it's not about the result, it's not about what I achieve or what position I get or what result I have from this project, from this preaching. Even in the preaching area, sometimes we can have success or not. And it's ultimately Krishna's decision whether it will be a success or not. But in any situation, if this any situation that happens take us closer to Krishna, then this is that the success actually. And so people people think that peace in nowadays, that peace means actually the absence of chaos, like the absence of miseries. So people nowadays, they try to avoid the miseries of life, but actually the real peace is to see the divinity in every situation that happens to us. It's not the absence of chaos, because the chaos will be here everywhere. We can try to run away, always chaos will come. We can go to, even people try to go, to Tahiti, or they think if they go to these islands really nice, they will be free from anxiety. And even when they go there, they get bitten by a big spider, something happened, like whatever. And then again, it's chaos. So chaos is everywhere. And so because actually we see the world as we are. So whatever we see in this world is just actually reflection of our own consciousness. So sometimes you have people, they come to the same place, the same community, the same temple, but one person will have a very critical mindset, and this person will criticize everything that happens around. They will criticize the prasadam, they will criticize the devotee, they will think why I have to do this service, why this. And another person, he will be grateful. He will just be grateful for the service, grateful for the prasadam, grateful that he can associate with devotee, grateful that he can be in this place, temple. So this is all about our consciousness. Everything is just a manifestation of our internal mindset, our internal consciousness, and our internal relationship with Krishna. So that's why actually it doesn't matter where we are really externally. It depends on our internal consciousness. And Krishna is actually saying in Bhagavad Gita in the chapter 9, verse 22, that for those who are always thinking about me, I am the swift deliverer of all difficulties. So it means that if we think about Krishna in every situation, then he will deliver us. It's not about delivering us from the external situation, material situation, but he delivers actually our consciousness. So like for example, Prahlad Maharaj, externally You know, he was still suffering, but internally he was in bliss because he was always connected to Krishna. So what we can do is actually practically in day-to-day life, when we go back now to our life, I guess some of you are working, for example, some of you have children, some of you are monks, some of you, we all have different life. But what we can do is every time that, so today, if we go in our day and a difficulty come, we can just ask ourselves, what is Krishna trying to show me in this difficulty, through this situation, instead of thinking, why is this happening to me, and you know, trying to find faults, and why it's me, why it's not someone else. So we should ask ourselves, what is Krishna showing me through this? Because even if in conflict or pain, there's always a reason why we go through a situation. Krishna may want to teach us patience, tolerance, detachment. There's always something that we can learn from every situation. So we should shift our focus from trying to resist the reality into perceiving the divine in it. And so if we do that day by day, we practice this moment by moment, then our consciousness will shift automatically if we take shelter. Actually, there's a very nice class from Keshav Maharaj. I don't know if you know him, he gives a really nice class, and he gave like 3 points that actually we can do when there is a difficult moment. So he said that when something bad happens to you, just remember the good that you have in your life. So, okay, something bad happened, difficulty, so automatically we should remember, okay, this is happening, but what is I have that is good in my life? I have, you know, a place to stay, I have devotees around me, family who loves me, I have this and this, and actually if we do the list of everything that we have, the problem will become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, like that. And second thing is see the good that's coming from the bad, which means that there is always lessons that we can learn. As I said, maybe I can become more tolerant, maybe I can become more detached, maybe I can become more compassionate. There's always something positive we can take out from it. And the third thing is, so what I can do to counterbalance this bad situation. So, for example, we can think about the situation and we can think, oh, maybe next time I can communicate with this person in a more compassionate way. Or maybe I can approach the situation in a different aspect so that we can go through this difficulty in the next time that it comes again in a different way. Because sometimes what happens is devotees, they get the same kind of difficulty again and again and again. And because actually what happens is that Krishna wants us to understand something about this, and we still don't understand it, so Krishna will send it in different forms or through different people. And so if we practice, if we try to be really introspective and try to really think deeply what I can learn, how I can change in a positive way, and what is good in this bad situation that happened to me, then slowly we shift our consciousness like that. But it takes effort, it's actually work, it's not easy. We really have to make that effort every time, all the time, because we live in Kali Yuga, which is the age of conflict. This means conflict, Kali. So means there is conflict all the time, everywhere. Whether you are in a temple, outside the temple, in a spiritual community, there will be conflict everywhere. And in that way, we have to work on our inner self so that actually we can see this conflict in a positive way. So I just want to stop here and see maybe if there is some realization or some question, or maybe you want to share some situation that happens to you. Maybe some you went through some difficult situation, and then maybe you practice that shift of consciousness. If maybe someone wants to share.
Disappears.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said in one of the verses in Bhagavad Gita that one who is chanting Hare Krishna, there may be many impediments. And Prabhupada continued. Prabhupada said that we must tolerate this and continue to chant Hare Krishna. So in life there are many challenges, there are many obstacles. Many people think that when we become a devotee, so there will be no obstacle, no challenges, no problems. But actually, when we become a devotee, so many impediments, we see many obstacles in our life. So Prabhupada remedies is that we have to tolerate and continue to in our process of Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada also said that one will get the full benefits of our Krishna consciousness at the time of death, because till our last breath, we have to struggle, we have to tolerate, we have to be patient, we have to be moderate, we have to take it positively, any things. Only then we'll be successful in our life.
Thank you. It's really wise.
Because this is a material world.
Yes. So it reminds me, there's a nice pastime again, Srimad Bhagavatam of Ajamil. He was doing a lot of sinful activities. But just because at the time of death, he said the name of his son, which is Narayan, he could go back to Krishna. So this shows that the potency of the names of Krishna are so powerful that can deliver us from all sinful activities and help us to go. Ultimately, this is the real solution to go through all difficulties. Always take shelter of the holy name, always take shelter of Krishna. So yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So thank you very much for your kind attention, and let's see what challenges wait for us and how we can take shelter of Krishna today. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh yeah. I don't know how it works actually.
It's not difficult. Just press the cross.